All right, chapter 12 on the prepositions. So here we have our nominative, the apostles, our imperfect verb, were remaining. We have our preposition here, in, and then our locative case, the house. The apostles were remaining in the house. The Lord. Now here notice that epsilon with our apostello, the omicron was dropped, epsilon inserted. The Lord was sending forth, and this is an accusative plural, the sons. Here's our standalone preposition, into the world. Now here we have an active ending on our verb, so just take a note of that. We have the God, which is just translated as God. Here's the part of the active for is, raising. The dead, and it's a plural in the accusative here, but in English we wouldn't say the deads, it's just the dead. And then here we have our standalone preposition, out of death. Have our verb here, and it's got the we ending. Notice the alpha has dropped, and this is imperfect, which is why the epsilon is there. So we were receiving. This is in the accusative, the word, and this is the genitive, I believe, because it's the word of God. Here's our standalone preposition, from the Lord, and this is likely ablative. The man. Here's that third person singular tie, and it's in the middle or the passive of the present. He is being sent, pempo, and in the text it talks about this preposition according to what case it's in, and so I've put this down as from the side of God. And in the text you want to go back and read point number 74. And this is the last one for translating into English. Here's our nominative in the plural, the servants. Here we have an imperfect, they were remaining. Here's our preposition with, the men. So I have our verb here for sending, put it in the imperfect, had to put the augment on, and the ending for the third person singular is really just the connecting vowel there. On, s, om, and ete, on. So that's that part. So he was sending. We put the child in the accusative. We have our preposition for out, which is ek, out. And we put, for the of, we put this in the ablative, the boat. Now this word is in the neuter, and so it's the nominative in the neuter, the child, and we put it in the third person singular, imperfect, was throwing. Here we have our accusative, and it's plural, stones. Standalone preposition for into. And then the house. The servants. And we're going to use a verb for all of this in the bracket. Were eating up. If you look at number 75, subsection 2, you will see the word for eating up, which is estheo. And to put it into the eating up part and into the imperfect, it is katastheon. Again, you have to reference number 75 of the text. And then we just put the bread for the accusative, the direct object. This one was pretty straightforward, just had to get our verb correct. We have the Lord was sending, so we have the third person singular. We put it in the imperfect, which is why the omicron has dropped and the epsilon is inserted here, apostelle, so sending forth, and then we have this in the plural accusative. The teacher, here's our verb. It's in the present because we have is, and so we have to put it in the present. But we also have an infinitive, to receive, which is why we've got this ending here. So about to in the third person singular ending, mele, and then to receive in the infinitive, lambanein. Then we have the bread, standalone preposition from, the child.